I'm going to show you a really good motor patterning device and progression that I've been doing with big league players as well as 8-year-olds that come in here. And it works fantastic for both. And this is about 10-step progression that we'll show you today. This is something you can do in little space. It's something I have all of our players do from a motor patterning perspective before they pick up a bat. So for instance, if they're coming in for a half-hour lesson with me, they have to do their progressions outside of the cage before they step in. And I'd recommend that all of your players do this before they get bat on ball for that day. The first piece of this, though, is it is going to challenge your core quite a bit. So in core stability, as well as strength and warm-up, we have to get the CNS fired up, which means my central nervous system has to be prepared to make explosive dynamic moves. So I have a drill that we can do quickly to fire up the central nervous system and the core. So Ernesto is going to hold this position. This is one of my instructors, coaches at Roosevelt University. He's putting his hands, elbows slightly flexed out in front of him, doing an isometric contraction. What that means is squeezing his hands together, squeezing my biceps, squeezing my chest, and I'm doing this in a hollow position. Hollow position means I want you to think about your chest being over your core and my stomach sucks in. So I'm not just flexing my abs like I'm going to do a Rocky punch against it. I want you to feel like your entire core is being lit up, especially the obliques. So all I'm doing is making myself tight. Now my goal, and I'm going to do this for just 10 seconds at a time, I usually do 2 or 3 sets, is I'm going to try to push him out of that position. So he has to resist me from both directions, staying tight and centered. And it'll look like this. Ready? Good. Now, after about 10 seconds of that, it's like you exhale, and you're like, man, that's pretty hard. You get your heart rate going. You can see in the first couple, well, you may not have seen it, but I felt in the first couple hits, I moved him real easily. And after the second hit, he's like, no, I got to stabilize. So right away, you'll feel that with your athletes of how they get better in just that short amount of time. So we'll do that one more time. Ready? Yep. There we go. Solid right at the beginning. There you go. Good. So that's the first step of the progression, getting his core lit up, central nervous system's ready to fire now, we're ready to have some action. Now we pick up the PVC pipe for the drills that we're going to do. The PVC pipe that I have is about 5 feet long. The important piece of this is that it's 3/4 inch in diameter. And they'll say that usually on the PVC pipe itself. 3/4 inch is what you need. If you get the 1 inch size or greater, it's going to be too big to really do what I need to do with it. So 3/4 inch is what you're looking for. First step of the progression. This is a simple walk-away drill with stability. Stability means that I've taken this PVC pipe and I've dug it into the ground. This thing is now a telephone pole. It's stable, it's not moving. My hands are holding on to it at the position they would be when I'm in my stance or when I'm going to launch. Shoulder height, I'm going to get into a scap load as I stride. And all I'm doing here is feeling the stability of the pole give me core and upper body stability. Step 1 is just walking away. When I walk away, I do not want the pole to be pulled with me. So in order to stabilize that, I feel tightness here underneath my armpit in the upper obliques. My serratus anterior is really what that is. And the other side as well. So when I do this, when I'm walking away, and I feel my core tighten up slightly. There's no rotation in this. I'm just stepping and getting strong in 2 places. I'm strong into the ground. I want to feel the ground pushing away from me. And I'm strong in the core. Tight there. That's step 1. I do 5 reps of all of these in the progression. But between every set, I step out, I step back in, and now I'm preparing my mind and my body to do phase number 2. Phase number 2 is a step, pause, turn. So same step, tighten up. As I walk out, pause, turn. When I do the turn, feel the same tightness and stability. Pole's not moving, it's dug into the ground. I'm turning my core and my lower body against my hands, stable object not moving, front shoulder then not moving either. 1, strong into the ground. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And I do call that out if I'm with the player, where I give them the steps in order like that, have a little pause in there just so they stay with me and execute it properly. So I want them to think about those 2 phases, strong into the ground, strong against the pole, good core turn. That's the torque of our swing. Phase 3, Step, turn in one fluid motion. See how the core goes again against the front shoulder not moving. Great stability in the pull. It's not moving. It's dug into the ground. I feel that all the way around my core, even into my lower back. Again, the torque of the swing, that's sequencing properly. Phase 4, we're starting to slot now. So I'm going step, turn, and I'm bending the pull. The idea of this is you're going to feel this in underneath, like in your lat, in your teres. Those are the muscles that are around the scapula that we're going to feel really light up when I try to bend this pull, and that's part of the reason you need a 3/4 inch pull. So it's step, turn, and I'm bending the pull backwards as my elbow begins to slot. Remember, the same muscles that are attached to the hip, the lat attaches to the hip, it's one of its insertion points, and it goes up into the scapula as well. So when my hip turns, that's part of the reason the elbow pulls down, tight to the slot. Every player that does that is like, oh man, I can really feel that. So if you have a player that struggles to get into scap load, doesn't have much muscle back there yet, or can't feel the action of what should be happening, this is an exaggerated feeling. They will get it. So that's easy to do when the pull is stable, it's not moving, it's dug into the ground. It gives you assistance. Stability always adds in aiding the learning of the movement. Then I take stability away.